Welcome back, Indiana Sports Beat Radio coming to you on this Monday. Jim Reamer from Courtside, Indiana, joining us now.
How's it going?
How are you, sir? Pretty good. How are
I'm
you?
Good. I'm fighting a cough and a cold, so we'll see how this goes. I'm getting ready to message you that right now. We'll see how it goes.
The Forum Tipoff Classic over the weekend, kind of big, one of the biggies to start the season. Although the season's already started, but some great games there going on. I missed the early ones. I was there for the later ones. You were there for the earlier ones.
Yep, I was there.
JQ Roberts,
till the end of the Zionsville game. Yeah,
which was a good game. Zionsville.
Yep.
I'm shocked that. Well, we'll talk about this. New Albany. What they going overtime with Zionsville or lost by
long
one?
drive. Carmel has. I mean, look, obviously when Zionsville or when New Albany had Romeo, they were a different kind of good, but Carmel has gone down the last two times they've gone down to New Albany. It's been tight games. I mean, it's a heck of a drive. You do it on a Saturday, and you oftentimes have a game the night before. And the schedule that Zionsville plays, the schedule that Carmel plays, it's always sort of a tough game. So you play a tough game Friday night, then you turn around and you're on the road to New Albany, usually around probably 11 a.m. So you have like a 9 a.m. practice or walkthrough. And then you hit the bus. I mean, I know it's excuses, but then New Albany will struggle too when they come up to Carmel. So,
well, that's all right. New Albany had an easy drive Friday night up the hill to Floyd Central.
That did not go well.
That did not go well at all, did it?
No, it did
not. The Highlanders sent them back down the hill with a case of the red butt, beating them like 56-27, I think. New Albany was scoring like 5 points a period, 5 to 6 points a period. They must have scored something extra there in the last one because it was just, I think 11-5, 27-11. Floyd's pretty good. They got some shooters and they got some bigs that are mobile.
Yeah, well, and the Zionsville game. Look, Zionsville plays is a little bit like Carmel in this regard. Is they will oftentimes turn your defense into their offense. So if your defense is kind of packed in a little bit, then that will sometimes slow them down just enough that maybe you can kind of hang around in a game that you shouldn't. And if you're not shooting well, then all of a sudden it becomes a game. So that was basically the entire Carmel Zionsville game to start the year. But I mean, both those teams will be really good, but that's how that game went. But Zionsville's got a point guard, Logan Imes. With Gabe Cupps already committing to Indiana in that class, it's kind of probably a non-issue for Indiana fans to worry about Logan. But Logan's, I would even argue that Logan's maybe a little better than Cupps. He's certainly bigger, but he's a fine player. He's got offers from Penn State, Creighton. He's got some mid-major offers, and I think after a full season or a full spring and summer of exposure, he'll end up getting some more high major offers. So he's a nice player.
Starting the day off, you saw Bloomington North and JQ Roberts, and I understand he had a pretty good game.
I love watching him play. He plays so hard. He's got the physical tools that you're looking for, especially when you project what a kid will be able to do in the Big Ten. But he also has something that you can't teach, which a lot of times you definitely can't rely on teaching it, which is motor. There is never a time. They've got 3 kids. I mean, there's probably more, but they've got 3 kids. Bloomington North has 3 kids. They've got Marco Fitch. They've got Marco Fitch. They've got Nick Klaber. Both of those are senior guards. And then they've got JQ Roberts, who's, of course, a junior forward. All 3 of those kids constantly play hard, constantly play fast, always looking to attack. JQ's skill set has gotten a lot better. We've talked about him at times on here. He just looks more improved each time out, and he's able to drive. He's able to drive closeouts now. He's able to actually even beat his man on one dribble, like make a move and get past him and get in the paint. He had a heck of a play, heck of a drive against Center Grove 2 weeks ago, or last week actually, where he caught the ball in the corner, beat his man to the middle, and went through two help defenders and still managed to get to the rim and dunk it. And it was more impressive how he got there than that he dunked it, but that he could get there and get all the way up to the rim. I mean, he's getting a lot better. His shot's getting smoother. It's going to come around. I think he's going to eventually get to the point where he's reliable out there. And then the next step would be extending it to the college line, which isn't that big of a deal. But it isn't that much of a difference from high school to college. But I think that's something that's going to be kind of a natural progression for him as he starts to work his way into college.
And JQ, I think, unfortunately, maybe one of those guys, Bloomington guys, that just from a bad timing standpoint, it's not that he's not good enough to play at Indiana, but I don't know from a timing perspective of his position that it'll work out for him. But we'll have to keep track of him.
Well, he has the offer, and they're recruiting him. They're definitely putting time in. Trying to think what they've got. I mean, their offers at that position are just Kwame Evans. I think JQ probably is as much of a power forward. Let me look at Kwame stuff here real quick. I don't know a ton about him. I know that he's really talented.
He's just a great kid, smart, very well spoken, super nice. JQ,
yeah. I mean, I don't see why. I mean, I don't think he's in a position where they couldn't continue to recruit him. They still have. I haven't counted. I'm not going to count on the air for you, but if we get to a point where I can count how many spots they still have to fill in that class, then maybe I'll look at it. But no, I think he's in a position. They've not been real active at that position other than him and Evans. And if they get both of them, then they can. There's no reason to think why they couldn't play on the floor at the same time.
Logan Imes also played over the weekend in the Forum Tipoff Classic. I did not see that game.
Yeah, that's who I was talking about a little bit earlier was, and I thought I've seen them play 3 times now, and he's gotten a little bit better each game. And what he is at 6'4", he is able to do everything on the court that you'd want from a point guard. Now, I think there's some matchups for him at a high major level where he's not going to be able to get downhill as easily as what somebody that might be more, is maybe what a Xavier Johnson would be able to do. But we're also seeing Xavier Johnson as a senior versus a senior in college versus Logan as a junior in high school. But all that would mean is that he would need to be part of some ball screen action, or it would be more likely he would get something off a dribble handoff and then get downhill. And then from there, he just makes tremendous decisions. I don't know that he makes a lot of mistakes in a game. Certainly not mental mistakes. He might make a bad pass every now and then. He'll certainly miss shots. But as far as making the wrong read or the wrong decision, I mean, it's been a long time since I've seen him do something where I thought, wow, that was just bad. And, even good players will do that every now and then. But he was pretty much in complete control of the game against Crispus Attucks as far as just playmaking, making shots, finding people. He plays with 2 bigs, which that helps. Any point guard is improved when they've got a good big. There's just no way around it. I mean, Crispus Attucks was able to scrap and claw because they've got quickness, and they've got some kids who will defend and fight at it, and they're really good at it. But I don't know if they really ever bothered Imes. It was just some of the other kids that they were able to speed up and kind of dig into and turn them over a little bit.
Xavier Booker, and then later on, not the nightcap, but next to last game, Cathedral taking on Covington Catholic from Kentucky. I don't know what they were ranked, but I know at one time Covington Catholic started out as the number 3 team in Kentucky, and Cathedral handled them, but they couldn't put them away. It's like Covington Catholic wouldn't go away, but the Cathedral handled them, it seemed like, but man, they would just couldn't quite put them away. A lot of 3-point shots went down in that game.
Yeah, I don't know much about Covington Catholic other than they've got 3 really good guys. They've got 3 kids that are being recruited Division I level. The one kid I've seen a little bit is Evan Ipsaro, their point guard, and he's good. I mean, he's not. He's not going to – I mean, obviously, Tayshawn Comer had 31, so I don't know – I didn't see that game, so I don't know what Covington Catholic did defensively. But, I mean, Cathedral just has weapons at each position, and they kind of go 3 deep off their bench that are pretty talented and can play for a number of teams. And
Don't
they've
they have
even
a
got
guy coming off the bench that has a D1 offer?
Depends on you. Tell me who started, and I'll tell you who's coming
Oh
off their
yeah,
bench.
that's
I've not seen them yet. With their schedule and some of the teams they play, there'll be at least 3 or 4 times where I'll see them later in the year, and it's including the Hall of Fame Classic at the end of December. But I'm not sure I will see them until then. But then I'll get a large dose of them in January and February, especially as I get the end of the year. I get tired, and the games that I go to tend to get a lot closer to home. So
I think that the only reason that they would lose is to beat themselves. They're a very complete team from a personnel wise, but I can see any high school team can beat itself, and that's certainly what goes along with them. But as far as talent, man, they're locked, they're loaded, top to bottom.
And Homestead, and I mean, you're looking right now at 5 teams. We came into the season thinking there would be Cathedral, there would be Carmel, there would be Homestead as the 3 teams that sort of separated themselves from the pack. And a large part that was based on what they had last year versus what they were bringing back. Westfield for me was definitely part of the mix of that next group of let's see how they start the year. You know, they go out and they play Homestead, they lose by 3. They play Zionsville, who up to now is, well, at least the way the rest of the state handles things, Zionsville is the number 1 team in the state. They obviously can claim a Carmel victory, and they they're undefeated. So and they play a good schedule. So they definitely are going to have. They beat Westfield by tight. It was a tight game. They beat them by, I think, 1 or 2. So they've got 2 really good wins under their belt. But it's those 5 teams I think have definitely separated themselves, and I don't think any of them are unbeatable, because obviously all of them have lost. Well, Zionsville is the only team that hasn't lost yet out of that group.